There once was a man named Gold Roger who was king of the pirates. He had fame, power, and wealth beyond your wildest dreams. Before they hung him from the gallows, these were the final words he said.
Our perspective is yours for the taking, but you'll have to join us first. We left everything we debated at the Yonkō Table.
Ever since, pirates from all over the world set sail for the Grand Line, searching for the Yonkō Table, the table that will make their dreams come true. Yo, everyone. The Yonkō Table is back in session, and we are unsheathing our katanas for Demon Slayer Season 2, Episode 16 or Episode 9 of the Entertainment District arc. There's a lot to talk about with this week's episode. The colors, the animation, what went down. I mean, this was an explosive episode, and I was able to talk about it earlier, but now we get to have like a more in-depth discussion. But before we dive deep into it, with me as always is fellow Yonko GrandMasterHoop. Grandmaster, how was this episode?
Oh man, edge of the seat. Yeah, it was definitely soft opening, and then I don't think it let you breathe. Now I watched it today on a Hulu account that had no commercials, so I really had no time to kind of catch my breath. It was just bam, 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 one after the other.
Back to back.
Again, Demon Slayer does a phenomenal job at displaying their story and their actions. So, and man, what an ending! Oh goodness gracious, I don't know what to think. Or
I'm speechless. I don't know what they're gonna do.
Right.
Okay, so what happened? This episode was like action packed, right? Edge of the seat, like just boom, 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 like no breather, like you said. Funny you say that because
breathing. Yeah.
So edge of your seat, nonstop action. There were red flags raised in this episode, and I call them character death flags.
Oh,
right?
Okay. I know. Okay.
The flashbacks with Tengen and his wives and everything. I'm like, oh man. At first I was thinking, oh, Tengen's gonna die because at first it seemed to focus on him, but then the more I saw the flashbacks, I started thinking, well, these could just be a little flashbacks to his wives as opposed to just about him. So maybe one of the wives or all of them were going to die in this fight. Maybe, I don't know. But we've seen enough anime. We know the tropes and everything. You see a flashback in the middle of a fight, especially like this. It's like, all right, someone is getting set up to die. I don't know if you felt the same thing or like what were your thoughts with some of those flashbacks?
I definitely felt what you're talking about, because it is, it's across any media when you give characters more depth or give them more emotional beats in an episode. It's kind of like the trigger warning that they're about to eat it. But we didn't learn too much from this flashback other than that.
Yeah.
Tengen is, kind of a good husband to his three wives.
Yes. It's not that I expected him to be like a terrible husband. I just didn't think he was. I didn't think he was going to be portrayed as a pretty good husband to all three.
Right. It was just I didn't look into the relationship past that. He's got three wives, but now you give a little more insight. He's actually caring towards them. He's kind. He's gentle. And he's like willing to do whatever he can to protect them. But the one thing I would hate to happen is his wives are damsels, because here they are shinobi.
You say shinoichi?
Yeah, I was about to say shinoichi. They are kunoichi.
Right.
And honestly, I really can only think of the kunai canon that we saw last week.
That was the only one.
That was the only thing That's the only thing we've seen from them.
In terms of combat prowess, because the other two are, I think they're evacuating the town or whatever. Yeah, so the ponytail wife, I don't remember their names. I'm not
going to. Yeah, I feel bad that I don't remember the names.
She's in here doing the kunai knife stuff, and that's literally all she did, because like you said, after the kunai knife bit, she became a damsel. Like, that was her purpose in the fight. Like, and then you have Tanjiro coming. Well, okay, she became a damsel, but it kind of progressed some elements of the plot of this arc because of her being a damsel. One of them being Tanjiro. Tanjiro, he's on death's door, or not on death's door. This dude, I don't know how he's still moving.
He's innovative. That's how he's moving.
He's innovative. What did he do?
What? He's like, who was it? It was the dude, right? What's the demon's name? The guy, right?
Gyutaro.
Gyutaro was going for her, right?
Right.
And he had to close the gap, and he's over here. He's like, maybe I can use it was the fire breathing, right?
The sun breathing.
The sun breathing. And he, I can't do it. Let me try water breathing. I can't do it. So it makes perfect sense. And again, I feel we alluded to this a little bit. The sun breathing being, if the sun breathing is the base of all the other forms and techniques, it would make sense that he can blend the techniques to, do whatever he needs, see fit. And that was really cool. So he blended sun and water, and in tremendous speed, he closes that gap and is able to protect her. Hinatsu. Hinatsuru. Yeah,
Hinatsuru. Okay.
Yeah, Hinatsuru. Yes.
I'm gonna forget it next week, but I know right now.
Let's just say she's the only one who's relevant because she's the only one in this fight, in the area.
Right.
So Hinatsuru, he closes the gap, he protects her. Even the dude, one more time, the demon.
Gyutaro
is like, oh wow, what speed,
typical anime fashion. I didn't even see him move.
Right. So again, it's Tanjiro is stepping up, and we've seen him step up a lot. And again, he's not on death's door, but he should be out for the count with that giant gash. I don't think he's done his recovery breathing.
Carrying Nezuko the entire time.
Carrying Nezuko. Part of me wishes that he would just put Nezuko down.
I wish he would throw the box to the side. I get it. Nezuko's in there, but guy, you've got to put it down.
Yeah, you mean to tell me you're making these full-on swings with that box, and the straps holding your shoulders? You mean to tell me there is no restraint those are putting on your shoulders? I don't know. I'm just, but either way, it was, I was, again, edge of the seat. It was really cool to see him blend both together for that feat. I enjoyed seeing that.
And it's interesting because, he was able to blend it. So does that mean he's hardly ever going to use full on sun breathing? You know what I mean? What's the balance between the two, right? He knows how to do water breathing, water dance, right? But he knows how to do sun breathing, or Hinokami Kagura. You see, I remember all these other names, but I can't remember the one
character names, right?
Hinokami Kagura. He remembers. I mean, he knows how to do that technique, but it takes a lot of wind out of him, right? He gets his stamina gets cut in half.
Right.
So I want to say at some point he's gonna be able to do sun breathing without that restraint, that handicap on him. Where do you balance that between using both techniques at the same time? You know what I mean? The using them at the same time is a compromise because he can't do full-on sun breathing without getting tired. Mm-hmm. So assuming he trains and gets stronger, he's going to be able to do sun breathing, efficiently. So then does that eliminate the water breathing mix into it, or?
That's a good question. I look at it as like this, because he said it like this. He said, each of the Hashira they're a master of one technique, or they probably did what he did in terms of blending styles and forms to come up with their own unique style. I would imagine what he just accomplished would mean he would try to blend continuously the sun breathing with whether it be the water or the fire. And I mean, if you want to make your own unique style versus become a master at one, I think it would be better for Tanjiro to come up with his own unique form set so people can't, adjust to it. I don't think I don't think we've seen, I mean, as far as we know, we haven't seen any truly blended forms. And with that said, I mean, these demons are like, I've killed many Hashira. Well, they've probably seen many forms and dances too. So if Tanjiro brings something new to the table, you catch them off guard, you catch, Hashira off guard to the point where they'll, start recognizing his power and be able to help him, perfect that. There's just a lot of options here because we have seen him go back and forth between styles to fit whatever situation is. Like, he was not strong against the dude Gitaro, and so he went back to water style because water is about going with the flow. So if someone is stronger than you, it makes sense to take their strength and redirect it back at them versus hitting them head on. So if he can find a perfect blend of whether it be sun and water, sun and fire, or just sun in general, again, it allows him to bring something new to the table versus, I mean, hey, I imagine these demons who killed all these Hashira might have seen some of these techniques before. So, keep it fresh. That's why, I mean, if you want to live, Demon Slayers, keep it fresh.
Apparently, they don't catch the memo with that. They're just dropping like flies. I mean, I wonder if the blend that Tanjiro's doing is only possible because sun breathing is considered the origin of all these different dances. Because once you start going down the branches, you have water breathing. Maybe water breathing is so far removed from like I don't know, like beast, right? Like Inosuke's beast form. Yeah. That you can't mix the two together. Right? Like it's just so far off the branch. But because sun breathing is like the origin, the source of all of them, then maybe that's the connection that you need so that you can mix and match stuff like that. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's another good way to think about it too, because what you can't blend, you do in teamwork, which is what we saw on display this episode. All three, well, Tanjiro kind of doing a mixture, but Inosuke doing the beast, Zenitsu doing the thunder, and I mean, it succeeded.
Honestly, that the Tengen versus Gyutaro fight keeps escalating, and it's cool. I like it. It's always great. To me, my favorite part was the trio up against Daki. That to me was my favorite because usually in a typical shonen or a typical anime, the main character gets the last laugh when it comes to like, taking care of like a villain, right? Or a foe. They didn't do that here. Assuming this was the move that's needed to finally defeat at least one of them, right? Inosuke was the one. Like, you have Tanjiro and Zenitsu acting as support. Again, I'm loving the support aspect of this fight, carrying on from last week. But you have you have first Tengen tossing off Tanjiro saying, yo, you got to get out of here because Gyutaro he's tough. I can't keep an eye on you. So Tanjiro is acting as support with Zenitsu for Inosuke. And part of it is a mix of intuition, because it's a mix of intuition and just being a general dumbass, because he doesn't even understand. Like, he knows what he needs to do, but at the same time, he doesn't understand what he's doing. Because he's like, I just need to charge head on and, cut her head off. I think that's what I need to do. So that's what, you know what I mean? Like it's funny. It's typical Inosuke. He's smart, but at the same time, he's dumb.
I mean, it's true. It's like, I guess they were always looking for the angle, but now that it's the three of them working together, if one of them just charges straight on and the other two, distract the whatever and just play defense and support, I guess it makes perfect sense that just charge straight on and look at the result. And yes, I love seeing the trio work together, because you're right, it's usually the main protagonist who gets the chance to shine, and the power gap between the main protagonist and the supporting players is usually significant. The show does a good job at kind of really just, they are on equal playing field. They're all
balance.
Right. It's a very good balance. And so it was really cool to see them working together. Yes, I think that might have been my favorite part too. But especially though, when Tanjiro's like, she's very soft, you have to cut really hard, but his blades are not meant for slicing. What they are serrated, like a serrated knife. And when he started,
I loved it.
I loved it. Yes, I loved it.
It was perfect.
Yes, because you're right. He is an idiot, but he's like not an idiot. he's like he recognizes he's not the smartest, but he's a beast at heart. A beast,
Exactly. Because he even I forgot. I think it was either Tanjiro or Zenitsu. One of them said something like, okay, so you cannot cut her head from just one angle because she's just gonna bend it, right? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, you need to cut it hard, because otherwise you're not gonna cut it, right? But you need to do it at two different angles. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, so it has to be like a dual slash from the two of them. And then as the fight progressed, I'm like, wait a minute, Inosuke's got two blades. He could just intersect them right across her head. And then, like you said, he started with the serrated blades, just chopping her head off. And it was great. Like I'm putting final blow in quotation because we don't know if this is the final blow, but like they built up the episode as if it was the final blow. And to me, that's important.
Yes.
Because they could have easily have put Tanjiro in there, and Tanjiro, I don't think can really handle Daki on his own 1v1. I mean, he well, can.
Not this form of Daki.
Not this form.
The previous form, but not this form.
Right, like he can't handle this form, but they could have easily have had Tanjiro come in and cut the head off himself, and then the same result like that we got in this episode where we got the fake out. But they didn't do it with Tanjiro. They did it with Inosuke, and I like that, because it gave a moment to a character that we've seen fight before, get some moments, but I think this was like the main one where like he got the kill, so to speak, right?
I would hope it's the kill as stylized as it was presented.
Oh man.
Right. I would hate for them to do another episode of,
we got to cut her head off again.
Right. Just come on. Let this be it.
Give it to him.
I hope. Yes. Give Inosuke a win. I'm not going to say anything more about, as far as give him this win, and because, given the ending.
Well, I mean, go ahead.
Are we there?
We're right there. He cut off the head,
And he's ready to run off with the head. Smart. Keep it away from the body.
It makes sense, because then it established what Zenitsu pointed out earlier, where I think we kind of questioned it last week, where we were like, do they have to cut off the head at the same time, or do you just need to cut one off and within a time frame get the other head off of the body, so that way both heads are off, they just don't need to be severed at once? Zenitsu basically said just they don't need to be cut off at the same time, right? Just roughly the same time frame,
right? And we have yet to see both heads off, so yes, it makes sense to take the body elsewhere. The head elsewhere, keep it away from the body, and maybe it was just maybe we were just so cheerful for this W that they just got the trio.
Yep.
And it makes perfect sense when Tanjiro, the next thing he's like, I should have been paying attention. I let my guard. Yes, they let their guard down again.
They did.
And oh God, and all you see is what you see, the sickle. Go through Inosuke.
Yep.
And I'm like, no. And then it's him. It's not like the sickle was thrown. He is right there.
And then it begs the question, wait, if Gyutaro's here, where is Tengen?
Where's Tengen? And he is lying on the ground, unconscious.
Handless.
This hand has been severed. And I'm like, oh, no.
This was a way to end the episode because people are going to be talking about this for a week. At least anime onlys, right? Yes. People that read the manga, they know, all right, cool stuff. But people that only watch the anime, they have to sit on this for a week. They have to be like, I don't know what they can do because Tengen supposedly is out. Inosuke's definitely out. He got stabbed. Right. I doubt he got stabbed through the heart, but he got stabbed like on the left side of his chest.
But regardless where, it's poisoned. It's
poisoned, right? So even if it wasn't a vital organ, he's got a poison in him that he doesn't know how to counteract.
Right.
Zenitsu pushing Tanjiro out of the way from an attack that I guess
which I think is destroying that building. It's like the blood art because he's using his blood art now.
The Gyutaro is?
Yeah. It's,
okay.
That he's slicing. It's like his blood is slicing.
Okay.
Like the sickles, but it's not the sickles. So yeah, I think he just destroyed the whole building. And yeah, Zenitsu pushed Tanjiro out of the way. Yeah.
So even though we didn't see Zenitsu get out of the, KO'd or anything, it's led to believe because he pushed Tanjiro out of the way, he's the one that took the hit from that building crumbling down. So now it's just Tanjiro. And I'm like, what do they do? Because in my head, after the episode, I started thinking, okay, well, maybe it's because, Tengen is a shinobi and part of a shinobi's kit is deception. What if there was some, even though we saw a body and a severed hand, what if there's, I don't know, something that he did to, trick everyone? Or, because at first I thought, oh, maybe it was the poison from the kunais that he threw in Gyutaro's body so that he can think that he's dead, create an illusion, and then he catches Gyutaro off guard. But then it's like, wait, that doesn't make any sense because Tanjiro also sees Tengen's body and he wasn't hit with the kunais. So
right.
I just don't know, because Tengen got one. That's the thing. The Tengen fight was getting heated up, and then we switch over to this, Daki versus Zenitsu and Tanjiro fight. But before that happens, the Tengen fight's heating up, and then it just ends. It ends off screen.
Yes.
I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to think about that. It looks like the guy was struggling in this fight. Maybe that's a mix of, too many players he has to keep track of and take care of. But
I mean, if the rules of the ninja shinobi are all the same, a ninja's greatest weapon is deception. So, I have to hope he is not out, because I don't think Tanjiro can take this dude on alone.
No, he cannot.
Right. So I hope he's not out. I don't know what you could do. The only thing I can think of, by cutting off your own hand, maybe you can extend the length of your blade by grabbing your hand and, have your hand pinch down on the sword. And I don't know.
That's one way.
I'm pulling shit out of my ass right now because it's so grim. I have no idea how they're coming out on top of this one. I have no idea, but I have to think Tengen is not out. some people like Apex think the brother that they keep mentioning who's alive, Tengen's brother,
he might come in.
Right. I mean, I think that's poor storytelling. He just showed up. Like,
he just knew he just showed up now of all times. Like,
right. No, I don't see that being the case. I mean, I really hope not. We'll see. But yeah, I have no idea. I'm speechless. Like, Inosuke gets stabbed. He's handless on the ground. Don't know what to think. Have no idea what to think.
Same here. I mean, I know they're not gonna bring back Nezuko for this fight. Like, I really.
Okay, that was the only thing I could think. I was like, wake up, Nezuko.
Wake up. I mean, because then it's like, okay, well, what's her recovery time on that stuff? Because she got shrunken down from using whatever the hell that was.
Like, she went down. She's like tiny again.
Right. So for her to make a comeback in this fight, like, what, it takes like 20, 30-ish minutes, however long this fight's been going on, for her to recover from her chibi form, whatever, to full on, big mode Nezuko. I don't know. Like, if she wasn't out, I would be like, okay, well, they still got Nezuko, maybe she could come in. I don't know what the hell they're gonna do. Like, it has to be either, I don't want this to happen, but it has to be what you mentioned with Apex, where his brother comes in at the last minute to come and save the day. I hope it's not that, but either that or another person from the Demon Slayer Corps comes in again. Maybe it's the leader. I always forget his name.
Oh, the leader, the blind guy. Because
it's like, if not him, you're just gonna bring in another Hashira to clean up the mess. Like, isn't the arc supposed to be about the sound Hashira?
Right. I mean, yes, I would like Tengen to take the win here.
Yeah, like, it's his arc, and we saw more of his sound techniques. Remember before we were asking, like, well, why is he called the sound Hashira? Because I don't know if you noticed it, but like, there was a move that he did when he was fighting Gyutaro, where when he was spinning the blades, it sounded like firecrackers when he was spinning them.
I saw that. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, sound. What does that do? Right? It sounds
distractions, like creates distractions. Yeah. Because he is using those pellets. Right. So if his blades could make the sounds too, you don't know where it's coming from.
Okay.
Yes.
That's fair enough.
I still feel we haven't even scraped the surface of the sound Hashira, of what sound he incorporates into his play.
Right. At least with combat. Like, outside of it, I can see it. He's quiet. He doesn't make a sound. Right. But yeah, in combat, I mean, like, all he's really doing is like swinging his swords around. We forgot to mention, like, how Gyutaro keeps countering these guys. Like, I thought he was gonna be out for the count when they cut his legs off, at least for a couple seconds, or grows them back.
Yeah, pretty instant. Yeah,
instantly. Whenever they try to cut off his head, like, there was a scene where I think Tanjiro tried to cut his head and he stopped the blade, but then Tengen was coming from behind, so he spun his neck around and caught it with his
teeth. Right.
And I'm like, bro, like, that's how you know it. Once they cut this guy's head off, the rest of it should be easy.
Oh yeah, it's over.
Because they have yet to cut this guy's head off. So like, once they accomplish that, if they accomplish it, then the Daki fight, which we've seen already, Inosuke was able to do it. Killing her or cutting her head off is not a problem. Yeah, speechless. I don't know what else to say. It was an action-packed episode. A lot to think about, a lot to talk about, but what do you do from here? All you can do is guess. I don't know. Is there anything else like that I missed that you think that they can do?
I don't know. I mean, again, I feel anything that is not already on the playing field would just be kind of poor storytelling. So I hope it is done by again, we didn't see Zenitsu get knocked out, but I hope it is done by Zenitsu and Tengen, who I know is gonna wake up.
He has to wake up.
Right.
Like, I know he's missing a hand.
Yeah, missing a hand is just not confirmation of dead. So
right.
Like if he was dead, I think they would have made it a point to say he's dead.
Yeah, like show the killing blow at least.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, show his death. Right. And then Tanjiro's still here. Did Hina Natsuru, did she run away? Or she's still there on the roof too? I
think she ran away because I remember they saved her and then they told her beat it.
Okay.
And then she I recall her jumping away, and so now it was just Tanjiro and Tengen versus Gyutaro, but then as that fight progressed, Tengen threw Tanjiro out of the way so that he could focus on him, and then that's when Tanjiro joined the Daki fight.
Right. So yeah, man. Nezuko could wake up too.
Nezuko. Maybe the two other shinobis, right?
Maybe, yeah, maybe.
Maybe they have something or a technique, because by now the city's evacuated, right? This fight's been going on. I think they would likely come back and try and help their husband, because I noticed a lot with this episode, at least with the flashbacks, they focused a lot on the ponytail. Hinatsuru. They focused a lot on her. They didn't focus on the other two wives too much. So maybe next week we might get some flashbacks with those two wives with more focus on them. And with that, we'll see them help in the fight, I guess.
Yes, because I said it last time we spoke. I am sure that Tengen and those three have some kind of, they've been training and they have teamwork, and they probably got some moves up their sleeves that they have yet to display, because it's just been kind of too hectic. Come in with a plan,
right?
Let the three regroup, and Hinatsuru tell them the situation, and bam, give us some shinobi teamwork.
That's it.
Again, the best shinobi squads are in squads of 4. The leader and the 3 Genin.
Right. My God.
That's me poaching ideas from Naruto, but
you're right.
If they have 4, there's 4 of them. So
there's 4 of them. There's clearly the head honcho, the teacher, the leader of the group, and then you have the 3 support, the 3 lessers in this scenario.
Exactly. So yeah,
we'll wait and see. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about this episode.
Other than, here's the next week, man.
Let's finish this. I feel like I keep saying we're at the climax every week, because I'm like, oh my God, this episode was amazing. But then the next week ups the ante from the previous week. So I'm like, maybe there's a climax after this. We're not at the climax yet. But this arc is gearing up to be really, really, really good. But we'll wait and see what happens. Let us know what you guys think in the comments below of Demon Slayer. Did we miss anything? Is there maybe some minor Easter egg or some little plot thread that we missed on that maybe explains or gives a hint as to what might happen, that what Tanjiro can do, because he seems to be the only one left that's conscious, at least in the fight right now, besides the 2 other wives. They're still awake, or you know what, I forgot to mention the 3rd wife, Hinatsuru. She left the battlefield. She probably went to go to the 2 other wives, inform them on what's going on, might bring them back to Tengen, and they'll do some, I don't know, some Super Saiyan God ritual, like in Battle of Gods, where they circle around Tengen and he gets a power up. I don't know. But because again, that marking on his eye, we don't know if that's just cosmetic or if there's some shutting gun.
I don't think they dive into that realm, but
I don't think you never know.
Yeah, we never know.
It might be a reason why, because I mean, it looks dope. It looks dope. I like it. But yeah, let us know what you think in the comments below. Let us know what you thought of our thoughts. And if you like what we had to say, share us around on social media, because we're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube. We're growing by the day. And hey, share us around and give us your support and love if you enjoyed anything that we had to say. But we'll catch you guys next week on Demon Slayer, possibly the finale of the fight. I don't know, maybe we'll see, but we'll catch you next time. I'm your Yonko host, DrJaceAttorney, and fellow Yonko GrandMasterHoop, signing off, guys. Take care.